everybody. How are you today? It is Tuesday, August 27th at about 6:10 this morning. It's just becoming daylight, looking good out here. We're having a good day, trucking on, running behind schedule as usual. Got all the way to work today. Got there early and realized I didn't have my wallet, so now I'm running late. I just wanted to jump on here and talk for a minute about something I seen on TikTok the other day. Learn something new every day. Not always something I want to learn, but I learn something new. Watch this guy on there, he dances. He's a big guy. I don't know if you've seen him or not, but he just gets on there and he just dances like he don't care if anybody watches or not. But he usually in shorts with suspenders. And on there dancing away. I've watched a few of his videos. I'm like, you go, man. Enjoy. But then, yesterday, for whatever reason, I don't understand all these young folks. He gets on there and starts talking about his sex life. Why? I don't know. No one really cares but him, but he thinks people do. And he says he's pansexual. Which I'm glad he described what that was, because I had no clue. I mean, I've heard the term, but I had no idea what it meant. And he says, I just attracted to all kinds of people because I got so much love to give. And then he started giving all the pronouns that he, they, them, their, her, whatever. All that nonsense. And he says, because I got so much love to give. And that caught my ear. And I thought, what in the world does that got to do with who you have sex with? We live in a world that is so confused. They can't tell right from wrong. Can't tell left from right. Can't tell boys from girls. And they can't tell lust of the flesh from love. I know we have been taught for many, many years, follow your heart, follow your heart, follow your heart. Well, this old man gonna tell you that's nonsense. Don't follow your heart. Use your head. You see a lot of people on the street homeless. See a lot of women in abused housing because they got married and shacked up with some guy who beat them up, got them pregnant, beat their kids up, molested their children, everything else, who knows what all, because they followed their heart. Most divorces in this country are caused because someone followed their heart. Don't follow your heart. You got a head, you got a brain, you got a mind, use it, think. I have been a minister for several years now. Going on 12. I started preaching 12 years ago. I was ordained before that. I just never really preached until then. And all that time, I've done 2 weddings. Only 2. And I asked the same thing. Now, I've counseled many couples. And I always ask them the same thing, and I always get the same answer. The question is, why do you love them? The answer is, they make me feel. Almost every time. And that's where I cut them off. And I said, no, I didn't ask if you loved yourself. I know you love yourself. Why do you love them? Well, I love them because they make me know. If you only love them because they make you anything, make you feel happy, make you feel safe, make you feel complete, make you feel loved, make you feel, then you don't love them, you love you. You love what they do for you. Love is not a feeling. Sexual desire is a feeling. Happiness is a feeling. Depression is a feeling. Those things come when you follow your heart. Love is a devotion. Love is a decision. Love is when you sit down and you say, I don't care what they do, I'm going to love them. It's not about what they do for me, it's what I do for you. I love my wife. And I romance my wife. And not because she makes me feel anything, because I choose to. I choose to love my wife. I would rather you choose to love me than just love me because I make you feel something. There's a lot of people who make me feel something, but I only love my wife in that way. When you are looking for a young man or a young woman to get involved with in a relationship, do yourself a favor. Look at the qualifications they have. Do they line up with you? Do they line up with your goals and your aspirations? A few years ago, I was looking to buy a house, and I found one. I thought it was awesome. I loved the house. It was an old home. It had a little stairway. You go up the stairs, and there was a little setting area. It would have been great for a little study or a little library. And then you go on up, and there was rooms upstairs, and these rooms had little doorways in the wall you could open up, and it was a little cubby back there for if you was a kid or something, would have been great. You know, you could have went in there and just kind of hid from everybody. And I thought, man, this house is awesome. I want it. Problem is, I'm a truck driver. I don't do construction. I don't buy houses every day. Okay? So I went to someone who did. And a friend of mine, a guy I work with, and I says, hey, do you mind checking this house out? He says, no, I'll be happy to. So he come over one day after work. We walk through this house. And he goes underneath it, down in the basement. He comes out. He's like, all right, here's the problem. I'm like, let me have it. He says, foundation is messed up over here. That's going to have to be fixed, or it's eventually going to get weak and mess the house up. He says, down in the basement, you're drawing too much moisture and starting to mess with the floor joists. They're going to be rotting out. You're going to have to figure out how to keep the basement dry, and you're probably going to have to replace a floor joist or two. And I'm like, you know, that's a lot of work and money. And I don't want to do all that to a house I'm just buying. Now, the house still made me happy. I still loved the house. I loved the looks of it. I loved, you know, it had a nice little yard and all that. It's located in a little town. You know, it was right off the highway, but it set far enough back that you could have fenced it in, not been a problem with the kids. You know, had enough room, you could have got a horse put out there and stuff. And so it was, to me, it was nice. It was just what I was looking for. But because my friend who knew houses come and said, hey, it's falling apart. It's going to need some more. It's going to cost you some money. I decided not to buy that house. Because I knew that if I bought that house, when the floor started falling in, and the house started costing me a bunch of money to get the foundation fixed and the basement fixed, then I wasn't going to love that house no more. It's the same way in relationships. When you're really looking for someone to be in a relationship with, don't just get to know them. Get to know people that know them. Make sure your friends get to know them. And then you can ask, hey, you know, what do you think? Come look at this. And if they start pointing out a bunch of flaws, walk away. You might already have feelings and it's going to hurt. disappointed like I was with that house, then they'll try to live with them for 10, 15 years and be miserable. Have you ever made a purchase, ever bought anything, and you think, man, I wish I would have bought that? It's a lot harder to do that when you get married. And I know in today's world, people get married, divorced, or they just shack up together. But you can't do that without it affecting you in some way. There's always a price to pay, even if you don't see it up front. When I met my wife, that's exactly what I did. I talked to friends, you know, and I married her, and I'm glad I did. I love her. But it wasn't just a heart issue, it was a head issue. So this young man who says he's banned, my advice would be, stop it. Learn to love people. Just for the sake of loving people. You don't have to sleep with everybody you love. And you're not going to love everybody you sleep with. Experience you have before you get to the one you want. The more competition they have to keep you focused. Don't make it hard on them. As far as being a pan or whatever, pansexual or any of that stuff, my advice would be to stop it. Be proud of who you are. If you're a boy who likes jewelry and pink, be a boy who likes jewelry and pink. You ain't got to change to fit nobody's mold. If you're a girl who likes mudding and trucks, be a girl who likes mudding and trucks. You ain't got to change to fit nobody's mold. But you have a choice on who you love. I know you'll hear you don't, but you do. So before you make that commitment, sit down, think about it. Think it through. And then make the best decision you can make. Emotions will always lead to trouble. You need to make rational decisions based on facts, experience, and circumstance. I don't care if that's buying a house, buying a car, or picking a spouse. Facts, experience, and circumstance. It's the best way to get through life. The emotion will come later. Make a good, solid decision to love somebody, and you got a work ethic you're going to pour into it. The emotion will be there. The romance will be there. Believe it or not, it'll come a lot easier and last a lot longer and be a lot stronger. I know this ain't nothing to do with trucks or trucking or anything like that, but it's just something that's on my mind. So as always, keep the shiny side up, the greasy side down, and I'll catch you on the flip.